I arrived at the cabin around 9 a.m. after a long trek through the bush. The temperature was minus 21 Celsius, which is typical in winter. No sign of the intruder. I think the cold and snow are keeping him away. The plan was to cut firewood as my supply is getting low. The extreme weather makes it difficult to get out and cut and causes me to burn more than usual. I wanted the cabin to be warm when I got back. Once lit, this wood stove will be going the entire time I'm here. After a quick rest, I headed out with saw, axe, and sled. All of the fallen trees close to the cabin have been cut for firewood, so I must venture out further for more. The cabin is surrounded by steep hills of 60 degrees or more, making this job even more difficult. The spring and fall winds generate new windfall each year. There's plenty of firewood out here, it's just a matter of going to get it. I took plenty of breaks in between cuts, and I felt like I accomplished very little in such a long period of time. This routine of processing firewood is very familiar to me. Scout, cut, haul, split, and stack, over and over again. With the full load, I headed back to the cabin for a late lunch. If you've ever had to melt snow into water, you will understand how time-consuming it is and how much snow you need. The water goes almost as quickly as you make it. Salmon pierogies, or dumplings as my dad would say, and bannock are the cabin special tonight. Eventually my wife texts are coming through, but it's too late by this time for a pickup. So I guess I'll be spending the night. I put away the firewood I hauled earlier and settle in for the night. So earlier tonight, I had some time. I went through everything in the cabin, did a really big cleanup, organized, found a few things I want to bring home. But since we have some time, I wanted to share a little story, something that happened on my last visit. I was in the cabin. My duck was in the clay oven outside cooking. I'm sitting here and I hear this coyote yelp. And it sounded maybe 50 feet from the cabin, maybe a little further. It was hard to tell. And that kind of freaked me out a little bit. Normally I don't get scared walking around here at night outside, but that kind of scared me. But I had to keep going outside to check on my duck. I didn't want it to burn. So I'm on high alert. I have my flashlight, and every little sound I'm, checking where the sound is coming from. The wind's blowing, trees are rubbing up against each other, creaking, which wasn't helping. And I didn't realize it, but this branch rubbed up against my coat and made a sound. And for whatever reason, I thought something was coming up behind me. So I turned around really quickly, pointed the flashlight. There was nothing there, but that scared me so bad. I felt this wave of tingles go across my scalp, and it felt like every hair on my head was standing on end. It's been a long time since I've been that scared. Strong winds and blowing snow woke me up in the middle of the night. By morning, the temperature was around minus 35 Celsius. After breakfast and coffee, I contacted my wife to see if the backroads are drifted over. I did not want to stay another night as the wind chills will be minus 40. We decided to go for a pickup. If the roads were bad, she would turn around and head home. If they were passable, she picks me up and I go home too.